This is Scott Becker with the Becker Business, the Becker Private Equity Podcast. We try each day to bring you 1 to 2 business and market insight episodes, plus also an interview from a brilliant business leader. We also try and make sure a few of our episodes are at least somewhat ridiculous, or at least hopefully a pleasure to listen to, and you don't have to learn anything from them. But today's episode is one of those. This discussion is golf and therapy. And I'm going to really talk about 3 different pieces of this. And anybody who golfs will maybe relate to this. But the first concept is I go out to play golf last week and been working on a new swing concept with my irons of, a little bit more wrist hinging, a little bit more, cocking the wrist, a little bit looser with the hope, get more distance, be a better golfer. And I'm working on this some. And it's going great in practice. And I think, this is the holy grail. I've now solved the game, and again, my drive is going fine. My chipping's good. My putting's okay. But now I've got my mid irons working fantastically well. And I'm probably going to start hitting course records and golfing at a different level. Of course, when I get on the course, trying a little bit of a different swing thought, a little bit of a different swing effort. And of course, most people that are golfers can tell where this is going and where it's going to end. It ends up being a horrendous day of golf. I'm hitting balls all over the place. I immediately have to go back to the lab, go back to the driving range the next day, and rework the swing to go back to simple, to at least I can put it where I want it to be, at least close to it without a total disaster. And this was just a disastrous round. But it reminded me of, years and years ago, I'd gone through a difficult life period and spent a lot of time with the therapist. And I would explain to the therapist how frustrated I was when I would go golf, and how much it would make me frustrated and stuff like that. And this therapist used the concept of, well, you shouldn't golf. You should give up golf. And of course, it's you have a choice at that point. You give up golf or you fire the therapist. And of course, anybody that knows golfers and people that like to golf knows, of course, that we moved on to the next therapist and got rid of that therapist, even though the therapist was actually just terrific, but advice I couldn't take or wouldn't take. So those are my 2 stories for the day. As soon as I think I've got golf figured out, I totally screw up and it's a disaster. The second thing is, if you ever have a therapist that tells you, well, if you don't like how you feel after golf, you shouldn't golf, you obviously have to fire that therapist. Thank you for listening to the Becker Business, the Becker Private Equity Podcast. Please do us a favor, buy our new book on Amazon, Building Great Businesses, Create Momentum, Overcome Setbacks, Scale with Confidence. Or if you don't want to buy the book, but you're the first person to listen all the way through, feel free to send me a text at 773-766-5322. You got to label it Golf and Therapy, and I'll send you a gift certificate for $50. You got to be the first one. You can't be someone who's got the gift certificate before. Thank you for listening to the Becker Business, the Becker Private Equity Podcast. Thank you very, very much.